Speaking of those rumors, more rumors are swirling in the air, and we're starting to hear some buzz around Microsoft, and they have been exploring options to bring more first-party games to the PlayStation and Switch. They want to take things multi-plat from their first party, and we've heard two big rumors swirl around in that kind of subtopic here. One, Sea of Thieves has been rumored to be a multi-plat drop in early 2024, coming to the PlayStation and potentially the Switch. Heard a lot of buzz around that specific game. And Hi-Fi Rush has had a lot of buzz around it of potentially coming to the Switch and maybe PS5. There have been some conflicting reports about PS5 being included in that, but is this the right move? Is this viable for Microsoft? How you feeling about this news?
I think that Hi-Fi Rush belongs on the Switch. I think it's a really good game. I have my own gripes with it, but we don't have time for that. I think the game is really cool. And like, there are so many games that the Xbox has that I think really should be multi-platform. Like, I don't know why Sunset Overdrive is not multi-platform at this point. Like, you might as well. Just
like, bring that game back too, by the way.
Yeah, like give us a 2 and drop 1 on PlayStation. And PlayStation, like, let's be adults about this. It's not that deep. It's not like the game has a diehard fan base that if God forbid it go on your system, they're gonna buy Xboxes. Like, I think exclusivity in games kind of really needs to die at this point. I know a lot of people I don't know anybody who really likes having exclusives on their console anymore. I think if anything, it hurts more than it helps, because who is really sitting here like, man, I'm so happy that they don't have Starfield. Like, man,
you know who. Like, you know who.
The people with nothing else in their lives. Yeah. But I can imagine a world where they do drop certain games on there. I just don't know if it's really worth it for Xbox, because at the end of the day, it's not like Sony's doing it for them, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what purpose? But now if they dropped it on the Switch, different conversation. I think Hi-Fi Rush on the Switch is a no-brainer at this point. I think any game you could put on the Switch might as well, because it's not hurting your pockets. Like, it's only gonna help you. The Switch fanboys are gonna cop it regardless. Like, if they have PlayStations, even people who have PlayStation and have Switches, like, I'll buy a Hi-Fi Rush on my Switch if I didn't have an Xbox or a means to play it and I had a PlayStation. Like, just make your money, man. Let those old folks at PlayStation be broke, you know?
Nah, I hear it. So this is my thing, and I definitely want to recircle on this when we get to one of our main stories towards the end of the show. But Xbox's approach for 2024, they have a lot of real estate now. Again, Activision's settled, it's finally done. That's in the books. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of IPs that they can work with. Letting a couple of things go multi-plat, especially for games in the Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush territory, where Hi-Fi Rush, again, critically acclaimed, came out really good. Shadow dropped like the top of last year out of nowhere, and everybody's like, holy shit, this is good stuff. But maybe it can do for more push and more buzz if it went multi-platform, especially on a fitting system like the Nintendo Switch. That could be a big benefit to Xbox and the game itself. That could set Hi-Fi Rush up for a lot more success as an IP if it gets multi-plat. Imagine if they drop it on the Switch and the PS5, and there's a whole new set of fans like, yo, holy shit, Hi-Fi Rush is amazing. Like, yo, we're fans of this now, and they're like, yo, y'all really like that? Y'all do? And they're like, yeah, we like it. So they're gonna line up a second game. The whole second game's coming. A sequel's already planned and stuff like that. And now they have even more incentive to drop it. Now, again, they have the choice of one, bringing it back to an exclusive and driving maybe a couple more units to Xbox users, or getting them on PC or whatever, but getting more people in the Xbox ecosystem that way, or you just get more profits by dropping the Hi-Fi Rush, the Hi-Fi Rush sequel as a complete multi-platform. So you have that option of doing more things. You know what I'm saying? With again, a prime first party title right now, but that could spawn into something that's even bigger as a first party, or you bring it to more people and have more profits from a multi-platform standpoint. That is a very, very potentially big upside for them, and I'll circle back to it in a second. But speaking of Sea of Thieves as well, Sea of Thieves could do for, again, an expansion of services, an expansion of servers. I mean, just more people to populate the world, to have more people amongst in it. Sea of Thieves could definitely do for that. I think that's a no-brainer as well to drop multi-platform, because again, the more people you have on the servers, the longer you keep it alive, the more stuff you can drop into it. And I think Sea of Thieves is honestly, it's come a long way. I think it's a viable game that deserves enough of server life to have more people play it. So that makes complete sense to me. But back to kind of the overall topic and Hi-Fi Rush in particular, it's a first party game for them. It's a first party catch up game for Xbox. We've known this. We've said this for years now, where Xbox don't got no games. You know what I'm saying? The whole song and dance about that. But now they're in a place where they're starting to load up a lot of first party stuff. And again, I will circle around this conversation later. Remember this, and towards the end of the podcast, they're gonna start loading up the chamber. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna start loading up the clip. They got a lot of stuff going, and they can make some decisions to really spread their wealth and you know what I'm saying, not out of reason to where they're not getting anything back in return, but they can put some feelers out and really increase the popularity of some first party stuff to start catching up to what the other brands may have. So I think there's a smart play in this, but they have to strike a good balance as to not give up so much of their first party IP to where, you know, they're not really getting much in return from putting stuff on other platforms. They have it's a balance that they have to strike. But I think this is good. Exclusivity is, unfortunately, for the sake of business, it's not going away, because Xbox is Xbox, PlayStation is PlayStation, Nintendo's Nintendo. They're never going to let that go, because that's their main selling point. Why would we even buy anything? You know what I'm saying? If you guys have no unique selling point to give to us, or blah blah blah. But in Xbox's situation, I think this can be very advantageous, and it can be beneficial to a lot of different people. You get to experience games that maybe you haven't had before, and there's extra buzzes added to their brand. So there's upside. I think this is a good move for them. And at the end of the day, get that Game Pass for $9.99. You know what I'm saying? If you want to experience more of the stuff that we got on our platform, you know what I'm saying? All the Game Pass evangelists, they're gonna be singing this to the praises, like, oh look, we gave y'all a little taste test. It's like I feel like Xbox might be playing The Wire, bro. It's like, yo, give them a sample real quick. Give them a quick little sample. You know what I'm saying? Come back. We got the rest of it over here. It comes to the spot. Like, yo, like what? They trying to string a bell this. They trying to like really big brain play this. You know what I mean?
And they can, and that's what Sony is afraid of, and that's really their superpower. Is if you can get people to fuck with the brand, fuck with the Game Pass, and it's gonna be quiet. Imagine the Game Pass on a Switch. Like, that's a scary sight for PlayStation.
100. That is spooky. That's spooky. That is cool. Nah, yeah, bruh. There's a lot of ways to slice the pie. They just got to make sure that they're walking the tightrope correctly. That's all.